Hey guys, welcome back to another Teddy B's Master Scent List video. In this video, we will be talking about the scents that fall into Q and R. So for those of you that this is the first video you're clicking on, this is a series where I have been going through Teddy B's Master Scent List and highlighting every single blend and just grouping them together by the letter of the alphabet that they start with and going through if I've tried this scent. If so, what do I think about it? Do I even remember it? Some of them I know I've tried and I don't remember. Or if I haven't tried a scent, is it something that I would want to pick up in the future, or what would I envision it to smell like? My goal for this series is essentially to have a catalog of at least most of Teddy B's wax. And say a pre-order comes around and you are looking for thoughts on a particular scent, you can go right to the letter of the alphabet video. There's a timestamp for every single fragrance, so you can click down to that fragrance and see if I have any thoughts about it. Don't know if that's helpful or not, but I have a very large Teddy B's collection and I love her wax so much. And so just a way to talk Teddy B's and to share with you guys my thoughts on it. And also for those of you in the comments, I mean, like I said, if we want this to be kind of a holding ground for information, your guys' input and experience with these blends are just as valuable. So if there's any blends that I'm talking about today that you love or just have any sort of melting experience with, please leave your thoughts in the comments down below. So that way in the future, if somebody comes back to this video looking for a particular recommendation or thoughts on something, that there's, more than just my opinion, my opinion here, because everybody has different opinions and different noses and scent preferences and everything like that. Also wanted to highlight again, because it's been a while since I've done one of these videos, my spreadsheet. The spreadsheet that I have that I'm using for this is linked in the description box of this video. It is a Google sheet. You do have to request access to see it, but those access requests come to my email and I usually approve people within the day. So I will approve you as a viewer to view the spreadsheet. And this, I think, is the most up-to-date Teddy B spreadsheet, because unless Tiffany has updated hers recently, I pulled this spreadsheet from her spreadsheet and she had missed probably 1.5 years of pre-orders. So I did my due diligence in the best that I could and tried to fill in those scents that were missing. Every time she does a pre-order or RTS, I go in and fill in the new scents and I update the dates for last offered. So there is a column in column E, the last known offering of this scent. So it might be valuable if you're like, oh, okay, well, that scent looks like it's come back recently, or that scent hasn't been around in a while. This also is a great way for people to figure out maybe what they want to request. If, it's pre-order request time, and you can kind of look through the master scent list and figure out what might be something you're interested in getting put on the bowls. Because Tiffany's spreadsheet wasn't updated when I originally pulled the list, I know that there are blends that I am probably missing from this sheet. I've done my best to go through and fill out those scents, but if you're ever going through this and you notice I'm missing something, please let me know or comment in the video and I will go in and add it. A couple of other things I wanted to mention, just kind of housekeeping things. Well, for one, there's Rip over there. So stinking cute. Just because I haven't filmed one of these videos in a while, but the reason I kind of backed off for a little bit is because these videos have become so much more intense than I imagined when I started this series. There are some categories that are so gigantically large. Trying to get prepared and pull all the wax and sit down and film has been daunting. My other issue that I have discovered, because I have so much Teddy B's wax and I have outgrown my current just wax storage in general. So I have Teddy B's in here. I have Teddy B's in another room. I have Teddy B's in another room. In this drawer, things are just shoved anywhere they can go because I don't have enough of one unit or whatever to put everything together and organize properly, at least at the moment. Maybe I need to consider taking all the wax out of like one of these units and just really moving things around. So I might consider doing that. But point being, it has been incredibly hard for me to find all of the wax that I have. So when I go through the list and I'm looking for a certain scent, like today, Rainy Day is a scent we'll talk about. I have Rainy Day. I cannot find it. And I got to a point where I said, Alexis, it doesn't matter. Sit and talk about the wax without showing it, even though that's nicer and I would like to show the wax. I do have to be better about it. At a certain point, I just say, screw the physical wax, and I'm going to sit here and just chat with you guys about my experience with these scents. So I hope that that is okay with you. Also, this video just does the Q and R scents, and so it is a much smaller, more kind of easily manageable chunk. And I'm trying to decide how to tackle the rest of the scent list in a reasonable way. Some of those larger categories I have broken out into multiple filming sessions and just put all the clips together, but those are really long videos. Those are also really crazy. So would you guys prefer like S, T, L, M? They have hundreds, it seems like. I'd have to look, of scents. Would you like a really long video and I'm wearing 40 different outfits if I have to, and I just put all the clips together? Or would you like smaller videos, you know, S part 1, S part 2, and I do them in more like 20, 25 cents at a time? Let me know what you guys think. I like the idea of having all of one scent in a video. You know, all of one, I mean, letter, I guess, in a video. But at the same time, I think it's more manageable from a filming perspective, from a watching perspective, if I break them up. So let me know your thoughts down below. But I've chit-chatted enough. Sorry, but it's been a while since I've sat and done this. So just wanted to give a refresher on what the series is and just kind of share how I'm feeling and what I think needs to happen moving forward. But let's get started with Q. The first scent is Queen. There's only 2 Q scents. Queen. Blackberry sugared violets paired perfectly with white birch and vanilla. I don't have this, but my gosh, does that sound entirely up my alley. I love sugared violets. I love sugared violets, so that sounds so pretty, and I'm a big fan of birch and vanilla. It says white birch and vanilla, so I'm not sure if that is vanilla birch, but I'm assuming this is a very sweet, perfumey, bedroom light floral scent. I think this would be gorgeous. Has this been offered recently? No, I don't think so. This is definitely one that I would put on her request list to have it come back, because for spring and summer, oh, that sounds amazing. Then we have Queen of the South. Summer sent me this particular sample, but I do have part of a loaf, I know. Summer, Stephanie, and I bought a D-stash, and we split a loaf in 3, so I was able to get a little more of this one. This is spun sugar, cashmere musk, wildflower honey, white peach nectar, and sweet mandarin. This is a really beautiful spring scent. I definitely get the wildflower. It is a floral scent by nature. I'm almost getting like some magnolia or maybe some honeysuckle or something to this. There is a sweetness to this. I can't pick out citrus per se, but there is something that leans a little bit more fruity and citrusy. I do get hints of the honey. Spun sugar, cashmere musk, not so much. But if you like floral, that's maybe just, it's strong floral, but it's blended with a touch of honey and then also has a touch of sweetness, you would really like this. This just makes me think this time of year. Full spring, when everything is in bloom, or maybe early summer. Very nice floral based scent. This one was poured July of 2023. So it's been, I guess, a year and a half since that has been offered. Okay, and then for R, first up, one of my favorites is Rain and Woods. I absolutely adore this scent. This was poured March of 24, so it's been a year since this has last been offered. This is Crunchy Leaves, Wet Flowers, Clove, Balsam, Patchouli, and Sandalwood. This is earthy and atmospheric, but also refreshing. You really get a lot of that like crunchy leaves. There's something very earthy about this, but also kind of sweet. It's not your wet leaf that's kind of rotted and fallen off a tree. It's not an October leaf. This is more a early September type of leaf. Maybe the leaves are starting to change, but they are still hanging out on the trees, and they're not that dry, crunchy leaf yet. There is something very wet about this. It's like a rainy day, in early fall. The air starting to change a little bit. I love the patchouli, the sandalwood in here, the wet flowers. It's just the epitome of an early fall to me, or even spring. This seems like a good spring scent as well. If you like earthy scents and atmospheric in nature, you would absolutely love this one. It is gorgeous, but you guys know, if you've watched me for any length of time, how much I love those earthy type of fragrances, but definitely one of my favorites. And then Rainy Day. This is the one that I looked, and I know I've got it, but I can't find it. This is crisp apples, dewy air, fallen leaves, oak, a touch of lavender, and a hint of sandalwood. This one to me really is reminiscent of a Super Tart scent. If you are familiar with that vendor, she has this scent. It used to be called the Omen, and now she changed the name to like Apple Vanilla Breeze, I want to say. When I smell and melt Rainy Day, I really get vibes of that. I'm not saying they're dupes, but that they are in the same scent category. This is a very fresh, aquatic apple fragrance. There is apple in there, but there's a lot of the rain notes. It is a very just aquatic blend. It's like you have fresh apples inside your house, but you've got the windows open and you're getting that fresh breeze coming through the windows, and maybe there's a light drizzle outside. As far as lavender and sandalwood, I don't know if I'm really picking up any of those notes, but it's just a very rainy, aquatic apple fragrance. Very fresh. The Omen from Super Tarts, she has almost as a base blend. You can melt it on its own, but she also uses it to blend with other things. And I think that Rainy Day would be no exception to that. I think that you could blend this with a lot and get just the most beautiful fragrances. Really love this one. This is also one that Summer just adores and loves. I'm pretty sure, let me look at my tracker. I'm pretty sure I have a souffle of it. Maybe I'm crazy and I've been looking this whole time for a souffle that I don't have. Let's see. I have a tub. That was my problem. That was my problem. I was looking through my souffles and I should have been looking in my tubs. See, this is why you should keep an inventory, and why you should actually look at it, because I was looking in the wrong spot. But if you like aquatic, fresh type of scents, Rainy Day is great. Raspberry Jam Frosted Sugar Cookies. Summer gave me a sample of this one, and I actually just melted it, but unfortunately I didn't really get much of a throw from this. It was incredibly light. Does that mean that the scent would be light if I got, full size of it? Probably not, but just something to note. This says signature sugar cookie and butter cookies topped with red raspberry jam. I really got the raspberry jam. It was a very sweet kind of macerated raspberry on cold. Can't say I got a ton of sugar cookie or butter cookie, but it just was a nice sweet raspberry. Nothing to write home about for me, just because I feel like I have a ton of raspberry scents in general, and so this isn't something I'm necessarily looking for. But if you like this kind of classic sweet bakery scents, I think this one would be really pretty. Raspberry lemon sugar cookies. I've never tried this one. This is fresh raspberries blended with our signature sugar cookie with a hint of lemon. So similar to the raspberry jam frosted sugar cookies, but that one seems more bakery, where this one seems more fresh. You have the raspberry, you have the lemon. I could see this one being a kind of brighter, more fragrant, fresher scent. If I had to choose between the two, I would prefer the raspberry jam frosted sugar cookies, the more bakery leaning, but I know a lot of people love lemon. I'm not the biggest lemon fan, and yeah, if you want like a nice fresh kitchen scent, that's what I'm feeling like this one would be. Okay, this next one I have never tried, and I would love to see this one come back. I have not seen this scent in years. I don't know if I'm going to say this right. This is Reminisce. Is that what it is? Reminisce? I don't know. This is raindrops, fresh dew, cedarwood, violets, a hint of vanilla, and shaving cream. I love shaving cream. It's one of my favorite scent notes. Violets are one of my favorite scent notes. And then when you say things like fresh dew, cedarwood, it's giving me a very kind of earthy atmospheric vibe. So this is all over the place. I get violet is more feminine leaning to me. Shaving cream leans more masculine. The raindrops, the fresh dew, the cedarwood, gives me that fresh kind of aquatic earthy scent. So I think this is just going to be a beautiful mix for the bedrooms and bathrooms. Just fresh, maybe a touch perfumey leaning from the violets and the shaving cream. I think this sounds like such an extraordinary scent, and I don't understand why this one has not come back. So I need to add this to the list of things I want to request when the May pre-order comes around, and it's time to put your request in, because that sounds so, so good. Okay, Replica. This one's been offered fairly recently. This one was poured July of 2024. This is strawberry pound cake, beach treats, cashmere cream, and sweet vanilla cream cake. This is gorgeous. This is strawberry pound cake. I want to say the Bath & Body Works type. And that's what I get from the most of this. I get strawberry pound cake and her beach nights. I'm not getting much cashmere cream, maybe just a hint. I love, because I'm not a huge cashmere fan, but I really get the strawberry pound cake and the beach treats. I know that when this pre-order arrived, Replica had a lot of hype around it, and for good reason. If you like strawberry pound cake and you like beach treats, this is beautiful. You can't go wrong with it. This is my only souffle. Do I have more? Let's see if I have more. Replica. I have a souffle and a tub. Okay, that's good. I think if you have a souffle and a tub, you have about a loaf's amount of a scent. Next is Roans Prairie. So I have had this one, but it's been probably 5 years, and so I don't feel like I can accurately talk about this. But this is barnwood, leaves type, and smoke from the bonfire. I remember not caring for this scent, but in the last 5, 6, 7 years, my scent preference is vastly different from what it used to be. And I don't think I was into the earthy fragrances like I am now. I've always loved leaves, but I bet the barnwood is what threw it off for me. And now I know that this is a scent that I would really love, at least theoretically. note-wise. So if it's ever offered, I'm definitely going to be picking some up, and I'm really curious to see what I think about it now as my preferences have changed, and I'm definitely more into the earthy, outdoorsy, dirty types of fragrances. Next is Roses Are Red. This is roses, fresh greenery, and sugarcane. I'm curious about this one, but I have a feeling it would be way too rose heavy for me. I do like the addition of the green notes and the sugar cane. Maybe those would blend together to kind of take the rose down a notch, but my concern with this would be how intense the rose is. Rose is one of those florals that I can only handle in certain blends and in certain amounts. And if it's too strong, it's too much for me. It leans very headache inducing. I can handle other florals that have, good strength much more than I can handle rose that are very strong. So not sure it would be a scent for me. I would definitely try a souffle and see what I thought of it. But my concern is that it would be too floral in nature for my taste. But I know many of you love the florals. Royal Bitch. This is strawberry pound cake, vanilla birch, and buttery sugar cookies. I've never seen this one, but that sounds amazing. I love her strawberry pound cake. In particular, her house blend. She has a house blend, and then she also uses the Bath & Body Works type, and I think her house blend is just exceptional. I actually have some of that. I need to melt that soon. It is gorgeous. And then I love vanilla birch. I think it just adds such a beautiful vanilla sweetness with a touch of earthiness. It's so creamy. Plus the buttery sugar cookies. This sounds like just a very creamy strawberry pound cake. That sounds so pretty. Royal Pink. I don't have this one today, but I have had this one multiple times in the past and actually really like it. It sounds kind of basic. It's pink sugar, buttery toffee, buttercream, fluffy white cake, and sugar cookies. So all of those notes outside of the pink sugar is Cupcakes at Tiffany's. So it's Cupcakes at Tiffany's mixed with pink sugar. And that might not sound like the most amazing thing ever, but this is blended so beautifully. This is a scent that has very much surprised me when I have warmed it. I think that her Cupcakes at Tiffany's is really good. It's strong, but it's not overly strong. Cupcakes at Tiffany's, to me, a lot of times can be very, very intense. And so I normally actually prefer Cupcakes at Tiffany's just on its own and not in a blend, because most of the time when you blend it with something, you can't smell anything else. But that's not the case with this one. I get a lot of the pink sugar in here. And I've mentioned this probably 10 times on this channel, but Tiffany does something very special with pink sugar. Pink sugar is one of those blends for me that I used to love it, and I think I just kind of burnt myself out on it. And so now when a scent has pink sugar, I kind of steer away a little bit because it can be just too cloying, too in your face. Not Tiffany's. She is such a great blender of oils that you smell the pink sugar, but it just incorporates with everything else, and it's not a standout note per se, if that makes any sense. I just think she does this scent incredibly well, and I would highly encourage you, if you like these fragrances, at least some, a sweet, sugary bakery scent, that if this is offered, to pick some up, because it's one that might surprise you, because it definitely surprised me. And then the last scent for this video under the category of R is Rustic Cashmere Cookies. This is roasted pine cones, signature sugar cookies, and cashmere cream. So this is one, when this was offered, it was offered last January. This was poured March of 2024. I did not pick any of it up because of the cashmere cream. Well, so many people were saying how amazing this one was and how the cashmere wasn't very strong. And so I ended up grabbing a loaf of all things in that RTS. And I'm so glad I did. Obviously, I haven't melted it. I really needed to melt it this winter, but I'll melt it this upcoming winter. This is so amazing. You get, I mean, hints of the cashmere, but it is very roasted pine cone signature sugar cookie forward. It is beautiful. And then the cashmere, I feel like, just gives a sweetness. But I really get a lot of the pine cone and the signature sugar cookie. It is such a beautiful pine cone blend. It's cozy and slightly sweet. And you guys know how I feel about pine cone and just treat in general. So I'm really glad I listened to everybody and was able to snag some of this in the RTS. Okay, that is it for this video. Thank you guys for watching and for enduring my like 10 minutes of chit chat in the beginning. I really hope that you guys enjoyed. Like I said, if there's anything I missed from Q&R, leave it down in the comments below so I can add it. And then if you have experience with any of these scents, what do you think of them? We would all love to know. I'll see you guys very soon in my next one. Bye.